Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Jumping on again here this morning. It is early, 5:35 a.m. You know the drill because this is the end of week 11 of Run to Gun reps. And I'm not gonna lie today, you guys. I woke up pretty tired today, but we gotta stay consistent. We gotta keep at it because that is what yields the results. That is what builds the character. And that is not letting current feelings override the ultimate goal, what we have set forth to accomplish later on, because so often than not, we are so guilty of stopping and letting the current situation or our current feelings or emotions override the overall goal. And it's so easy to do, and with all aspects of our life, right? It's easy for me to tie it into like diet and nutrition because that's a main thing that I do for a living. That is what I work with on people. And so we use that a lot when it's really easy, when you have this big goal of losing a certain amount of fat mass and gaining some muscle and becoming more healthy. And we talk about, hey, it's really easy, especially in the beginning stages where we crave some pizza or we crave Buffalo Wild Wings or we want to go grab a couple cookies, and that instant gratification feeling we get from grabbing that out of the cupboard or grabbing the gas station pizza and tasting it and eating it. We get that instant gratification, that instant high, but it slows us down and it gets in the way of accomplishing that ultimate goal. And all for 2 minutes of this satisfaction on our lips, when ultimately it slows us down and we never enjoy that feeling. That's the thing we have to remember, right? Is we do those things and we actually really don't enjoy it. We actually really don't like the way we feel after it, but sometimes we just keep going back to it because it's a habit, right? Or it's an addiction to or something. And so we have to really start getting into the mind and asking ourselves, okay, well, why do I need this? Why am I doing this? And really break it down with yourself to really ask yourself, do I need this right now? And what is this good for? Is this helping me along my journey for my big goal, my ultimate ambition, goals, and dreams? So my encouragement today is to really stick to that journey. Commit to that journey. Have some radical commitment when you're diving in this path that you're going on, because if you have the big goals, your path is going to be narrow to get there, right? But it doesn't mean that path hasn't been blazed before by somebody else, because guess what? There are so many that have gone before us that have accomplished such great things that seem impossible. And so really have that radical commitment to it, you guys. I understand how long and drawn out and impossible sometimes things feel. I started Run to Gun, started working on it in 2011 and got it going in 2012. And a lot of people don't know part of that story of how I was working full time as a personal trainer in commercial gyms. And I did that for, I think, 7 years, from 2011 to 2000 and another corporate job, all the way through 2017, maybe 18. And I think it was 18. Yeah, it was 2018. So 2011 to 18, 40, 50, 60 hour a week normal job. I would sometimes go back on weekends and work for my dad to make some extra cash, and then still do Run to Gun because that was the dream, right? We talk about what's the ultimate dream. So what do we have to do to get there? What do we have to sacrifice? What do we have to stay consistent with and have the radical commitment to give ourselves the opportunities to open up the window of opportunity to get there? For me, it was having to suffer through that 7-8 years of working the full-time jobs, all while still working full-time at my side gig. That wasn't making me much money. There wasn't much of a monetary return, but my passion for it was high. My impact that I felt like I was giving to people was very high. And even though the time allotment was also high with that and the money allotment was low, but it was my passion, right? My passion was high, and my impact to people, I felt like was high. So I kept going at it. I kept staying consistent with it, kept putting in the time. And over that time and consistency, over years and years and years, even though there was more times I wanted to quit, I wouldn't lie to you guys and jump on here and tell you that it was just grand throughout the whole thing and I had energy for it the whole time. Because over the course of those years, when the following wasn't building enough, the money wasn't coming in, all the vanity metrics that I could have gotten caught up in that would have encouraged me to quit versus encouraged me to keep going, I wanted to quit so many times with that, you guys. And so I really just want to encourage you that if it is your calling, if it is where you're supposed to be at, to continue along that journey and give yourself the window of opportunity. It was a 7-8 year window for me to finally be able to step full time into Run to Gun. It was June 1st of 2019 that I finally got to do that. And was it scary? Was I technically making enough money on paper when I did it? I was not. But it was finally the window of opportunity to take the big risk and to take another step forward, because throughout that journey, you're going to have to continue to take those steps forward in those risks to make some stuff happen for yourself. And at some point, there's going to be a bigger step that you're going to have to take. That's going to be an ultimate risk. It's going to be a bigger risk than you've taken in the past. But you're going to be prepared and you're going to be ready for it because of all of the consistency that you've put in over the years for that opportunity. And when you do, you're going to be able to seize it and you're going to be able to rock it out. And so you guys, I just wanted to encourage you today to step in and get after it. Show up, lean in, put in the work to make those dreams, ambitions, and goals happen. And within that, it's going to take consistency. It's going to take staying on that path and that journey, sometimes longer than we want to. Sometimes it's going to be discouraging because of the length of time it's going to take. It's going to be tiring at times. It's going to be lonely at times. But all those things are what make it so dang rewarding, what make it so great, because in the end, it's about the journey. It's not always about the destination. And I want you to stop, because that sounds really cliche, but stop and think about it for a second. Think about all the times in your life where you had a journey that was very discomforting, very difficult, but you got through it. Think about a time like that you got through it and you were like, man, like that really tested me, but I really grew from that. I was stretched. I was uncomfortable. I'm so much stronger now mentally. Like I can handle a lot more. Physically, I can definitely handle a lot more. So think about those times, because you have them. You have those times. We all have those times, but we tend to forget about them oftentimes when we're going through the next trials, when we're going through the next discomfort. So empower yourself, you guys. You have more power and strength than you think, but you got to remember, and then you got to give yourself the opportunity, and you got to be consistent with it, you guys. You can't give up early. You can't give up after a few weeks or a couple months. You can't give up after just a year. You got to stick with it, you guys. It's going to take time, because that's what our life is about. Our life is about our journey. Our life is about having that example for other people, and that our story of trials and challenge are what helped the guy next to us. Okay? So I encourage you this week, end of week 11 on Run 2 Gun Reps here, you guys, to just stick the course. Have consistency, and great things are going to come of it. You guys have an awesome weekend. We will be back here on Tuesday, 5:35 a.m. I encourage you to jump on then. All the past ones are going up on the Live Beyond Average podcast. I'm a couple behind. I think I'm 2 episodes behind on the Live Beyond Average podcast. We'll have another one up today, which was last Thursday. So I'm 1 week behind on that, but I'm going to get a couple up over the weekend and get us caught up. And so if you want to go back, re-listen to any, there's 11 weeks worth on there, plus a year and a half's worth of podcasts behind that. I think we have labeled 167 podcasts, and I have 3 unlabeled, so I know I have 170 up there if you haven't heard them. Things have evolved and changed. It's another example. You can go back and listen to the early ones. I don't sound the way I sound right now. You don't sound the way you sound right now. You don't act the way you're going to act later on. You don't perform the way you're going to perform later on. But it takes getting in the reps, you guys. It takes the practice and it takes the consistency to get where you want to be. So stick with it. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome weekend. Be productive and have great activity. Have great action, not just activity. Have great action towards what you're trying to accomplish. We'll see you guys later.